Hi guys, we have today with us Professor Manish, and sir is the best person to talk about analytics. Sir, today we'll talk about analytics. What is the role in marketing? What is the role in finance? How analytics have become important for everyone, and every B school is starting with analytics ka program now. So before I go into the details, sir, first of all, can a non-engineer do analytics? Okay, the moment you think of analytics, the पहली चीज दिमाग में आती है is only for engineers.
True. That's a very good question. That's a very relevant question, right? Um, I'll tell you, I'll tell you a big confusion that people have. Okay. Now, when I was going to do engineering, there was a branch of engineering called chemical engineering, and we thought that chemical engineering has to do with chemistry, and I thought chemistry is my bad subject, so I will not take chemical engineering. Now, the thing is, the name doesn't have any connotation to some extent with what you actually do in that particular profession. So, coming to the main question, see, you call it analytics. In analytics, you have statistics, you have mathematics, you have programming, and you have decision making. Uh, what I would say is that when you talk about a career in analytics, it is not necessarily a programming career. It is not necessarily a career where you do uh, hardcore statistical stuff. There are many options in analytics where the company is looking whether you as a candidate can use data to make certain decisions. So, for example, let us say you go for the interview and they will not really ask you the formula for standard deviation or formula for correlation. That will come little later. But what they will start with is that they will try to see, do you understand the importance of data in a managerial scenario? So, for example, let's talk about Swiggy. Now, Swiggy has a lot of data with them because they have operations across so many cities. They deliver from so many restaurants to so many clients. So everybody knows that Swiggy has a lot of data with them. Now, can you think of ways of how Swiggy can use this data? Now, remember, to answer this question, you don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to be a statistician. You don't need to be a mathematician or a programmer. I'm throwing this open to people. If they're interested, they can answer my question. If you are a manager in Swiggy, how can you use the data in Swiggy to come out with new business ideas or to improve the performance of Swiggy or any other thing that you can think of? And when you ask this question to yourself, you realize that it has very less to do with actual analytics. It has more to do with the managerial aspect. That means, what can I do with it? If you understand what I can do with the data, you have won more than 50% of the battle. Of course, after that, if somebody may say, I like statistics, that person can become a statistician. I like programming, that person can become a Tableau programmer or SAS programmer or R programmer. That is there. But it doesn't mean that everybody has to become a programmer. And then people are afraid, no, 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 I don't like programming. I don't like statistics. It's not like that at all. Even if you are not good at math, even if you are from a non-engineering background, not good at statistics, it doesn't matter to some extent because there are careers available in analytics which will use your managerial aspect, your managerial acumen of how to use that data.
Superb. Superb. Sir, Abhi Lagyat, if you can give us example of a bank also, because I want to work in a bank, for example, I don't want to know about all these things. So, what is the role of analytics or data crunching, whichever way you want to say it, in a bank?
Data analytics in a bank. Okay. Now, if you look at a bank, what kind of data does a bank collect? Today, banks have operations in branches, banks have operations at the ATM, banks have operations in the mobile app, they have transactions in the internet. Like that, there are huge number of transactions that a bank has. So, a very simple example I'll give you. I mean, unlimited number of things can be done with the data. Unlimited number of things. I mean, if you give 15 minutes to each of the participants, each of them can come with five things that can be done with data. So 15 fives are, they may be unique, they may not be unique. That's a different thing. But the more you think about it, the more you can do. I'll give you some quick pointers. Let us say, have you heard of cross selling? Like, the bank has a customer who has a savings account. Now, can you sell that person a car loan? Can you sell that person insurance policy? Can you sell that person mediclaim policy and so on, life insurance, etc., etc. Now, the thing is, how can data help you? See, how can data help you is that you look at all your earlier attempts of trying to sell term life insurance. See, term life has become very popular in recent days because of COVID. So people shamelessly tell you on your face, sir, आप term life करा लो, अभी कोई guarantee नहीं है.
True,
And
true.
I feel अरे ऐसा कैसे बोल सकते हो? Relax. But they say that on your face. And sir, I'll give you a good rate, don't worry. So see, term life has become very important. So the bank can the bank has the option that they can call each and every customer to find, why don't you buy term life? Why don't you buy term life? But do you know the ideal customer for term life? That will save your time. If you call an 80-year-old person and say, please take term life, that guy will say, I don't need it. That's a very simple example. So, based on the patterns in the past, based on how many people you approach and how many bought term life in the past, can we predict the likelihood of a person trying to buy term insurance? And that will improve our efficiency. That
Superb,
just one.
superb,
That
superb.
just one example. Yeah.
Superb. So, in fact, we can extrapolate this example to everyone. For
Yes.
example, I am a bank owner. I have the database of 10 lakh people. So, how much is debit? How much is credit? That will be a job of the finance guy. So,
Yes.
finance guy have to do that kind of analytics on that database.
Yes.
Marketing people have to say how many can buy insurance, how many can take a loan from me. Based on the
Yes.
same data, will be the job of the marketing people. HR
Yes.
people can use the same kind of a data for employees, how
Yes.
to use the employee, where to put the employees. So I think everybody, and how much time it takes to open the account, this and that can be used by operations people.
Yes.
This example we can use for any of the branches to make this thing understand.
Yeah. Yeah. True. And see, let me tell you one thing. People think that application of data means it has to be something very complicated. It has to be something like you develop a difficult algorithm and some output comes out of it. It's not. It's not that thing. It can be as simple as a just a yes no kind of a classification of customers, and that can give you what you want. Your ultimate aim is to solve the problem. Your aim is not to use a complicated algorithm. So what I gave you was an example. You can think of simple examples of analytics. You can think of more difficult examples of analytics. But whatever the case, for example, let's say kids. Kids present a very good future market. Like when Kellogg's came to India, Kellogg's realized that it is difficult to change people's eating habits because Kellogg's is a breakfast cereal, and in India everywhere we eat like in Maharashtra we have poha, in South we have idli, so people already have their breakfast options available. So Kellogg's targeted heavily, very heavily the kids because they realized that when the kids grow up, they will take to Kellogg's. That's actually a successful strategy. Same thing we can do with kids in banking. That Kotak Bank is targeting Kotak Bank is targeting kids. That's a very good strategy because when they grow up, they have these ready-made customers. If you give a very attractive bank account to a kid, When that person grows up, that person becomes your natural account holder. You don't need to sell anything to that person. So simple strategies like this.
True, true. Sir, what is the future? Do you think the marketing, finance, operation, all these branches will start dissolving, and analytics and other upcoming area, fintech, will become more important? Can you see that trend coming in the future?
Um, yes. See, the thing is, what exactly will happen in the future that nobody can predict after 15 years from now. But let me tell you one thing, that importance of analytics is going to increase in each and every domain. For example, HR domain, let's say. Now, let's say when you talk about HR domain, a lot of people think that human resource is a very non-analytic kind of a department, because HR में जो लोग जाते हैं, they are more of a soft skills type people, they are more of a non-mathematical kind of people. But let me tell you that imagine a company like TCS. How many employees TCS has? It has more than 3 lakh employees. Now tell me one thing, if a HR manager in a company says, I cannot handle Excel sheet, I cannot calculate the percentage increase in salaries, will that person be able to do a good job? The answer is no. In From our college, from Vivekanand Management College, we had some seniors who passed out, and they were working in an MNC company where they prepared a dashboard for the HR, a dashboard for the HR using a data visualization tool, where the HR can see in one go, they can see everything, that who are the new joinees, who are going to leave today, when is the salary due, what are the training programs due, and things like that. The thing is, understand one thing, everybody, that today every company has a lot of data. Every company has a lot of data, and the problem is they don't know what to do with this data. Why? Because finance is a very old profession. Everybody knows what is done in finance. Marketing is a very old profession. Operations is a very old profession. IT is an old profession. You can find somebody with 30 years experience in marketing, but do you find somebody with 30 years experience in analytics? The answer is no, because this is a new field. So the thing is, ICICI Bank or Big Bazaar or Uber, they have lots of data, but they don't know what to do with that data. So they require data analytics. And today we have seen a new kind of a position getting created in the companies. Like, CMO. What the CMO stands for? Chief Marketing Officer. What is the CTO? Chief Technical Officer. Like now they have CIO, Chief Information Officer, or Chief Data Officer. They have realized the need for it. And this data officer caters to all the departments in the company: finance, operations, marketing. They need a lot of analysis on data from this from this particular department. So data is going to play a huge role in all these departments. There is, as you said, it is dissolve. It's called convergence basically. In technical terms, it's called convergence, where different technologies merge together. There is no difference between technology.
Right, 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 right. Okay, sir. Before we go into that, I want to just introduce sir, because those who have joined us now, a lot of people are joining us now. So, sir have done his PG DBA from IIM Lucknow and graduation from IIT Bombay, and have more than 15 years of experience in this industry, and is right now assistant professor at Vivekanand Business School. So, sir, my next question, I've got this wonderful question from a student. So, guys, if you have any question, you can ask here. So, uh, what is the difference between MTech in data analytics, and what is the with as compared to MBA? So, MBA versus MTech, what is the major difference?
That's a good question. If you look at the syllabus of MTech, and if you look at the syllabus of MBA, the syllabus will have a lot of overlap. Okay, because the base is analytics. Uh, You will have programming languages in both the courses. You will have statistics in both the courses. You will have visualization in both the courses and things like that. But the difference is that in an MBA program, the focus will be on how to use data for the end use of managerial decision making, which is something an MTech may lack, because an MTech is going to be more of a technical degree. So, for example, getting admission into MTech itself will be disqualified if you're not from the correct background. But that's not the case with MBA. For MBA, if you have a degree in art and you apply for MBA in analytics, you are allowed to do that. But that's not the case with MTech. You have to have a BTech from that particular stream. So eventually, you have to take a call that are you looking for a managerial profession or are you looking for a technical profession? If you're looking for a technical profession, MTech may be more suitable. If you're looking for a managerial position, then MBA will actually give you a broader perspective, which MTech will not give you. MTech will be more of very, hardcore statistics and mathematical approach.
Superb, superb, superb. Sir, like your college have introduced analytics as a part of the program for almost every course. Marketing करो, finance करो, हर जगह उसमें analytics आ रहा है. So, what is the main jobs you feel? What are the three industries or three companies? I won't say company, three profiles which are being offered to MBAs, maybe at your college or at any other B school. What are the three major roles which are there?
Um, See the three major roles, if you look at it, there are FMCG companies. Uh, for example, if you talk about something like Procter and Gamble, if you talk about something like Colgate Palmolive, these are FMCG companies, and they also have realized that it is important for us to have data. Like, let us say they have the sales department, and recently I was having a chat with one of the students who is doing a project at one of the MNC companies. It's a FMCG company, and that person told me that student was actually working in a project where they used the Tableau software for data visualization to analyze the US market for the sales and how the sales of that company compared with Kellogg. Kellogg was their competitor. Um, so one application or one career that somebody can think of is in FMCG companies. This is a relatively new field because marketing is a typical field in FMCG companies. Everybody knows that you require sales and marketing, but a new field is analytics. Another field is finance companies, like, for example, stock broking companies. Uh, they place a lot of, for example, in finance, you have this analysis, technical analysis, and fundamental analysis, and different kind of analysis. So can we use artificial intelligence? Can we use machine learning? Can we use analytics to find out which stocks will do better, which industries will do better, and things like that? So that's another area where uh, a lot of demand is there. And third is operations plus logistics. For example, Amazon, Flipkart, Big Bazaar, and a lot of logistics companies. Their aim is to increase the efficiency of their operation. Can you imagine how complicated Amazon's delivery system must be? I mean, they are delivering uh, things of almost all sizes, of all values, across all the country. It's so complicated, and to become more efficient, or think of Uber's algorithm. It's a typical logistics algorithm, because when you book an Uber, how does the Uber allocate a car to you? Have you ever thought about that? It doesn't happen randomly. It doesn't happen alphabetically. If my name starts from A, they'll give me a driver starting with the name A. It's not that. It's a completely efficient algorithm based on a lot of parameters. If you think about it, you go crazy actually. It's a very difficult algorithm to think of. So logistics companies, uh, Big Bazaar kind of companies, Amazon kind of companies, which handle a lot of orders coming in and going out, they have another important option where you can apply for a job. So these three things, I think, are the top three.
Right, right. So guys, if you have any question, you can keep posting your question. I'll pick up a few questions as we go along. So we got 8 questions here. What is the role of business analyst in the current scenario? I think with everything goes online, so I think there's a more requirement now. पहले कहा था you are sitting in front of the customer, you can feel, if you're experienced, you can feel it while talking to the customer ki what is the requirement. Today everything is online, so I think data crunching have become more important phase. That's what I feel. What is your take on that, sir?
Yeah, see, I will read the question. Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
your voice was a little cracking a little bit. Okay, fine. I thought it's my network connection. Okay.
Okay.
See, I will split the question into two parts.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, okay, great. I will split the question into two parts. I will call it a short term and long term. Okay. Now, when you say current scenario, by current scenario, if you mean the COVID scenario, I will put it in the short term. And I would say that uh, now companies' focus is minimizing costs because their revenues and their profits are going down. And to minimize costs, they have to improve their efficiency. And data analytics or artificial intelligence helps you improve your efficiency. So that is why in the current scenario, uh, data analytics is important. And once COVID scenario is gone, if you talk about in the long term, in general, the current scenario, you will see that the use of data is increasing like anything across all sectors and across all domains. Let me ask you a question. Do you know which is the largest search engine after Google? Google is number one. Do you know what is the number two? And the answer is YouTube. It is not Bing. It is not Yahoo. It is not something else. It's YouTube because people search the most on the YouTube after Google. The amount of data is crazy. Tell me any company, tell me any institution, tell me any government uh, sector which does not have a lot of data today. Banks, huge amount of data. Technology companies, huge amount of data. Big bazaar kind of companies, huge amount of data. Universities, huge amount of data. In the olden days, our certificates were physically stored, but now they are stored in a soft copy format. They have so much data now. So in the current scenario, the importance of data is going to increase day by day, and this is something you cannot ignore. So that's my answer.
Superb, superb. Okay, so next question is very interesting. Can I go abroad after doing पब्लिक को बस बाहर जाना है कैसे भेज दो बस उनको
देखो
what
एक
is
मैं
scope of
तुमको
going abroad after doing MBA in analytics?
of course you can go abroad, and I would say that it is the most सबसे ज्यादा चांस अगर किसमें है तो that is analytics. I'll tell you the reason for it. uh, 35 years back when IT was a new profession, people were not sure about IT profession. If somebody asked 5 years down the line what will you become, nobody knew that. And uh, people from commerce background, arts background, who had nothing to do with programming, they did a small course of 6 months or 3 months somewhere, and they got into IT companies, and they became very rich people after 25 years. The same thing is happening with the analytics industry right now. So if you ask somebody where will a person be after 10 years in analytics, now nobody knows the answer because it is yet a completely new field. But today, software is a very, very mature field. You know that I will join as an assistant trainee, then I'll become a programmer, then I'll become a team lead, then I'll become a project manager, etc. You know all that hierarchy very well. It's all well laid out. But the people who got into IT 35 years back took the right decision of their life, and the ones who are getting into IT right now is not a very good decision. The same thing is happening with analytics right now. If you get into analytics right now, it's a good decision. And after 10 years, I can't predict where you will be, but you will be among one of the top earners if you compare yourself with your colleagues.
Super. Okay, nowadays companies like Facebook is selling our data. Does this come under data analytics?
Selling data is not really coming into analytics, but let me tell you one thing, that a lot of people make money by selling stuff to Facebook and Google and things like that. You can actually make applications which analyze customer trends, which analyze trends of tweet, and you can make a custom program for companies. I mean, all kinds of career are possible using data.
I think last year some adult website, their millions of data was stolen. Now, if you buy the data, yes, you will need a data analytics to do the database mapping on that, ki where to use the data. So
True.
selling the data, I think there's no use of data analytics. That's more of a cheating thing and scam thing. But
True.
yes, buying the data and able to use that data, I think you need analytics.
Yeah. See, actually, in the US, uh, data breach is considered to be a very, very big thing. I mean, for Indians, it's not a big thing at all. But in the US, privacy is extremely important. So, um, one, why it is such a big hue and cry if Facebook sells data is because it's a privacy breach. It's a big legal issue there. Facebook can shut down if the people win the legal case against them. That's a different matter altogether. But what you said is right, that even if you are able to get the data from somebody, uh, you need to be smart enough to use that data in an efficient way. Otherwise, it's all a waste of time.
Yes, exactly. Okay, sir, anything I need to do prior before I come into the college about analytics and all? Should I do some courses, all these kind of things?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. See, when the company comes, you have to think of 2 years from now, or when you will finally start your MBA program. When you're uh, completing your MBA program, you're going for an interview. Think of that day. Think of that day where somebody is sitting across the table and asking you questions to recruit you. Now that person wants to know that there are 30 students in this college who have taken analytics. Why should I select you? Why are you special? And that is where you need to differentiate yourself from others and show that I have done this internship in this particular company where I analyze this. Or I did a certification program from this online e-learning company where I learned R programming or SAS or whatever. Basically, it is for your own professional development, and it is for differentiating yourself from others. Because the more you show the company that I am keen, if you just say, I love data, and if they ask you, what have you done? And you say, I don't know R programming, I don't know Hadoop, I don't know Python, I don't know this, then they'll say, then what have you done? You have to show, no, I care. So you can choose any one programming language like say Python or Hadoop and do a program on that, maybe a 3 month, a 6 month program, apart from your regular college MBA work, or maybe do an internship somewhere which has to do with data analytics, work on some report, use some tool to help the company achieve something. That is what will impress the company. So from that perspective, as far as starting the MBA program is concerned, you don't need to do any process, but you can right now. I think if you have legally time, you can do it. I mean, after you give your CET and other exams, if you have ample time, it's a good thing to actually get some certification done.
Perfect. All right, sir. Thank you very much for coming online and talking to us, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much. Everybody, take care. And next
Okay.
time we'll shake hands when we meet in
Yes,
person.
then next time, probably next time. Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good night.